Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm John, an old YouTuber and PC gamer. It's Friday evening. I have charged the camcorder a little bit more than 2 hours. This 7 video from Eastern Germany is online, is public. And I'm uploading a Danish Ukraine video. This is day number 79 that Russia did attack Ukraine. But it's a little bit late, it's 20:20 p.m. soon. And I think we should not do this lot more than 11 p.m. because my voice is very loud. This voice is super loud. I was just mentioning my Danish video. I will record about this Qualcomm. Yes, this Qualcomm Snapdragon chips. That's inside the Sony Xperia phone like this one. This Snapdragon chips are getting faster and faster every generation. And this Android operating system, I think that's Google own that. That's getting better and better. Oh, this is the Sony Xperia phone. This phone are getting faster and faster. This smartphone are getting faster. That's like a small computer with this Snapdragon chips. So and the PCs, the laptops PC are getting smaller and smaller, like 11-inch screens and 10-inch. And this smartphone are getting bigger and bigger. So actually just need a little bit bigger smartphone with a tiny keyboard. Then you could do the same, just need a small keyboard to type. Then it's like yes, a small laptop. Just need to be but this is a big one. This is a 17-inch screen. So but let's continue because it's getting late. It's a little bit too late to do this, but now I just charge the camcorder 2 hours. Now I record this video from East Germany because I just record some video about some some East Germany semiconductor factories, some East Germany computers. And Intel have some CPU factories in like Malaysia, Costa Rica, and some do the same. I don't know much about Malaysia, the country of Malaysia or Malay, and Costa Rica. So I like to know a little bit more about these countries Intel are producing. And in Magdeburg in Germany, are living in Denmark on top of Germany. Intel are just built a super expensive to $20 billion, a big CPU factory called Magdeburg, somewhere in Germany. Should be finished in year 2027, I think. No, this chips, this is made in yes, this says Malay. That's Malaysia, Malay. And we have some made in Costa Rica. Yes, this is made in Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica, this is in Central America. Costa Rica is Central, this is in Asia, Malaysia. So I like to know more about, and until this first the 80, 86, 82 I think they made in Israel in Jerusalem. They had some chip factory, and actually Israel is going to build some new fabs in Israel. They're building right now, and they're just to be finished to many billions of American dollars. Oops. So I need to buy more plastic boxes like this. I think I have to sort the CPUs to which LGA socket it fits. but I don't have so many. But let's get started. But actually, I just like to record a bit more, then I will play GTA 5. I will go to bed and play GTA 5 just for fun. It's the same. I will record from the United States of America on Wikipedia, but of course you need to know what United States of America is, because the Intel, all the big IT companies is from United States, and you need to know what is California State, what is Silicon Valley, what is San Francisco, and you need to know that. But no, you don't need to. I like to know more about that. I'm not read, because that's really helped me a lot, this computer voice. It's reading this text. It's much more easy to understand if you're not English. I have to, I don't think I have anything more open than this web browser. And Adobe Acrobat readers. I think we got two there. So I think let's read this again.
Stasi. The Ministry of State Security, Stasi, included the The Ministry of State Security, Stasi, included the Events Security. They were the only part of the field Stasi that was visible to the public, and so were very unpopular within the population. The Stasi numbered.
Yes, but let's continue. I think we got to there. Or we just read from there. Let's just do it again.
Rostock, 95, 253,990. Halle, Saal, 95, 236,044. Erfurt, 95, 220,016. Potsdam, 95, 142,862. Jura, 95, 134,834. Schwerin, 95, 130,685. Cottbus, 95, 128,639. Zwickau, 95, 121,749. Jena, 95, 108,010. Dessau, 95, 103,867. Administrative districts. Districts of the German Democratic Republic in 1952 until 1952. East Germany comprised the capital, East Berlin. Though legally it was not fully part of the GDR territory, and the 5 German states of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, in 1947 renamed Mecklenburg, Brandenburg, Saxony-Anhalt, Thuringia, and Saxony. Their post-war territorial demarcations approximating pre-war German demarcations of the Middle German Länder, states, and Provinzen, provinces of Prussia. The western parts of 2 provinces, Pomerania and Lower Silesia, the remainder of which were annexed by Poland, remained in the GDR and were attached to Mecklenburg and Saxony, respectively. The East German administrative reform of 1952 established 14 Bezirk districts, and de facto disestablished 5 Länder. The new Bezirk, named after their district centers, were as follows: I. Rostock, 2. New Brandenburg, and 3. Schwerin created from the land, state, of Mecklenburg. 4. Potsdam, v. Frankfurt, Oder, and 7. Cottbus from Brandenburg. 6. Magdeburg and 8. Halle from Saxony-Anhalt winking sad smiley 9. Leipzig, 11. Dresden, and 12. Karl-Marx-Stadt, Chemnitz until 1953 and again from 1990, from Saxony, and X, Erfurt, 13. Jura, and 14. Sull from Thuringia. East Berlin was made the country's 15th Bezirk in 1961 but retained special legal status until 1968, when their assidents approved the new draft constitution. Despite the city as a whole being legally under the control of Allied Control Council, and diplomatic objections of the Allied governments, the GDR administered the Bezirk of Berlin as part of its territory. Uniries, University Giant, in 1982. Built in 1972, it was once part of the Karl-Marx University and is Leipzig's tallest building. Military. The government of East Germany had control over a large number of military and paramilitary organizations through various ministries. Chief among these was the Ministry of National Defense. Because of East Germany's proximity to the West during the Cold War, 1945-92, its military forces were among the most advanced of the Warsaw Pact. Defining what was a military force and what was not is a matter of some dispute. National People's Army. The National Volksarmee, NVA, was the largest military organization in East Germany. It was formed in 1956 from the Kasernierte Volkspolizei, Barracked People's Police, the military units of the regular police, Volkspolizei, when East Germany joined the Warsaw Pact. From its creation, it was controlled by the Ministry of National Defense, East Germany. It was an all-volunteer force until an 18-month conscription period was introduced in 1962. 96-97, it was regarded by NATO officers as the best military in the Warsaw Pact. 98. The NVA consisted of the following branches: Land Forces of the National People's Army, Volksmarine People's Navy, Air Forces of the National People's Army, Border Troops. The border troops of the eastern sector were originally organized as a police force, the Deutsche Grenzpolizei, similar to Bundesgrenzschutz in West Germany. It was controlled by the Ministry of the Interior. Following the remilitarization of East Germany in 1956, the Deutsche Grenzpolizei was transformed into a military force in 1961, modeled after the Soviet border troops, and transferred to the Ministry of National Defense, as part of the National People's Army. In 1973, it was separated from the NVA, but it remained under the same ministry. At its peak, it numbered approximately 47,000 men. Volkspolizei Bereitschaft. After the NVA was separated from the Volkspolizei in 1956, the Ministry of the Interior maintained its own public order barracked reserve, known as Volkspolizei Bereitschaften, VPB. These units were, like the Kasernierte Volkspolizei, equipped as motorized infantry, and they numbered between 12,000 and 15,000 men. Stasi. The Ministry of State Security, Stasi, included the Felix Dzerzhinsky Guards Regiment, which was mainly involved with facilities security and plainclothes security. They were the only part of the Fiat Stasi that was visible to the public, and so were very unpopular within the population. The Stasi numbered around 90,000 men, the Guards Regiment around 12,000 men.
Oh no. That's because I'm tired, so I'm clicking weird because the screen is so far away. This screen is like 4 feet away. I can barely read this text. This text is super small from there. My eyes are not good. I'm using reading glasses, so I can barely see the text from there. I have a Dennis video. I need to go public soon, and now it's 10:30. But let's just continue. I like to finish this so I can get back to the Intel CPUs. I can bear because this text is very small from like 4 feet away. On 1.5 meters, the screen is 1.5 meters away. I can barely see the texts.
East German National Volksarmee changing of the guard ceremony in East Berlin. Combat groups of the working class. The Kampfgruppen der Arbeiterklasse, combat groups of the working class, numbered around 400,000 for much of their existence, and were organized around factories. The KDA was the political military instrument of the ZED. It was essentially a party army. All KDA directives and decisions were made by the ZK's Politburo. They received their training from the Volkspolizei and the Ministry of the Interior. Membership was voluntary, but said members were required to join as part of their membership obligation. Conscientious objection. Every man was required to serve 18 months of compulsory military service. For the medically unqualified and conscientious objector, there were the Bauinhitten, construction units, or the Volkshygienedienst, People's Sanitation Service, both established in 1964, 2 years after the introduction of conscription, in response to political pressure by the National Lutheran Protestant Church upon the GDR's government. In the 1970s, East German leaders acknowledged that former construction soldiers and sanitation service soldiers were at a disadvantage when they rejoined the civilian sphere. Foreign policy. Support of Third World socialist countries. Angola's José Eduardo dos Santos during his visit to East Berlin after receiving wider international diplomatic recognition in 1972-73. The GDR began active cooperation with Third World socialist governments and national liberation movements. While the USSR was in control of the overall strategy and Cuban armed forces were involved in the actual combat, mostly in the People's Republic of Angola and Socialist Ethiopia, the GDR provided experts for military hardware maintenance and personnel training, and oversaw creation of secret security agencies based on its own Stasi model. Already in the 1960s, contacts were established with Angola's MPLA, Mozambique's Frelimo and the PAC in Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde. In the 1970s, official cooperation was established with other self-proclaimed socialist governments and people's republics: People's Republic of the Congo, People's Democratic Republic of Yemen, Somali Democratic Republic, Libya, and the People's Republic of Benin. The first military agreement was signed in 1973 with the People's Republic of the Congo. In 1979, friendship treaties were signed with Angola, Mozambique and Ethiopia. It was estimated that altogether, 4,000 DDR military and security experts were dispatched to Africa. In addition, representatives from African and Arab countries and liberation movements underwent military training in the GDR. 99. East Germany and the Middle East conflict. East Germany pursued an anti-Zionist policy. Jeffrey Herf argues that East Germany was waging an undeclared war on Israel. 100. According to Herf, the Middle East was one of the crucial battlefields of the global Cold War between the Soviet Union and the West. It was also a region in which East Germany played a salient role in the Soviet bloc's antagonism toward Israel. 101. While East Germany saw itself as an anti-fascist state, it regarded Israel as a fascist state. 102, and East Germany strongly supported the Palestine Liberation Organization,